Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Randy Talk Hockey. I'm Randy. So, we had that big day happen today in the NHL. What was it? Happens every year. I'm thinking, wait, trade deadline day, a fascinating day. So, one of the slower trade deadline days in past history, but you can understand that. A lot of the big names have gone, so a lot of little names happened. None of the expected big names were moved, and that's understandable. Sometimes these moves had to happen in the offseason. We had them trade. I'll go in depth to see, are they good trades? Are they bad trades? And also go at the end and say, who are the winners and the losers of the NHL trade deadline? So, last night or early in the East Coast, you had Yannick Hansen for the Vancouver Canucks got traded for Nikolai Goldbin in a conditional first-round pick. Good move for the Sharks, I would say, because the Sharks, they add a good player who can play up and down lineup, scored 20 goals last year. So I think the Sharks add that depth, add some speed, that can help. The Canucks are going to continue their role with this rebuild, add a good young prospect, get a pick. So it's interesting to see how this will work out for both teams. But I think the Sharks have really improved themselves for the playoffs. Also, we had last night Steve Ott, of Detroit Red Wings, get traded to the Montreal Canadiens for a 6th-round pick. So Montreal, they had Ott, agitator, guys people don't like to play. They got 2 of them in Shaw and Ott, but question is Ott going to score? I said yesterday, Montreal, they need help scoring. A Deshae would have been nice. Looked like they couldn't do that. So I guess we'll see. Can this trade help? I don't think so. I think the Habs is not good enough. They got to play them, the big team in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I understand that, but if you can't score, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Also, we had the Florida Panthers acquiring Thomas Vanek for Detroit for Dylan McCarthy and a 3rd-round pick. Now, we know the Red Wings, their playoff streak ending, 25 years. But good move by Kenny Hall and get the pick. You get a young defenseman. Now, he has hop team to team, but I think he'll get a good chance in Detroit to play. Vanek will add some depth in the top 6. Hopefully he can score. But Florida, they're on because this team has been reconstructed. It's just a mess in Florida, especially with the firing of Gerard Gallant, Hal Management, who are they listening to, Tom Rowe or Dave Talon? But if anyone can put Florida on the right track, it is Dave Talon. So Talon may got a trick up his sleeve, as they say. But we'll see. Now, the Canadiens, they made another trade. They traded Dwight King to the Montreal Canadiens for a conditional 1st-round pick. They get another big size. So I get the theme of Montreal getting bigger and stronger. They're bulking up. But is it going to work? Because when they got to play a team like either the Rangers, the Jackets, those are very fast teams. If you can you slow them down? Maybe with their physicality, but if not, oh boy, they're going to be in some deep trouble. But again, we'll examine this more in April when it gets close to playoffs. Speaking of the Kings, they made a trade. They acquired winger Jarome McGinley for a conditional 4th-round pick in 2018, so a few years away. Now, the Kings are in this desperate heat to keep the playoffs alive. Don't want to miss it 2 or 3 years. Obviously, Jarome McGinley has history with Daryl Sutter, so we will see how it works. I think the move, it may help the Kings offense a little bit, but I'm not going to say it's going to help them out. They're going to score a crazy amount of goals now. Jarome, he may help a little bit, but not too much. So, what we see, I guess time will only tell to see it will pay off for this trade. Do the Kings make it or not? But right now, they're in trouble, so they're going to have to go on a probable run. Another big trade we saw, now the Columbus Blue Jackets, they were a little busy today. They added Kyle Quincy for the New Jersey Devils, for Dilton Prott, and they added Luber Kwiatkowski from the Dallas Stars for a pick. Now, good move, some desperate. I guess the Jackets getting ready for the playoffs, some experience. John Tortorella can lean on these guys a bit. So we will see, are these trades going to make the difference? But the Jackets, they're going to be fun to watch in April, I can tell you that much. Another trade we had. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning traded forward Valtteri Filppula for defenseman Mark Streit, and also the Lightning got a 4th-round pick in this year's draft, and maybe a conditional 7th-round pick. Now, good move by the Lightning. They open up cap. They know they got to sign players like Tyler Johnson, Andre Palat to contract, Jonathan Drouin as well. So very good move by Stevie Yzerman to open up that cap space right away. The Flyers, though, we knew Mark Streit was on his way out. I don't know if the Flyers can keep up and make the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. But they do got some young, good defensemen in Ian Provac and Shane Gostisbehere. So makes room for them, give them more roles. So I guess it's easy, you can say, but the Flyers did give a lot. Now, speaking of the Devils, they made another trade to keep adding. They traded P.A. Parento to the Nashville Predators. Now we can say that's a good move for the Predators. Add some depth scoring. Parento can score. The Devils keep adding some more assets. Now the Devils, they've been adding all these assets. I think the question is, when are they going to use some of these assets to make a trade and get some players? They got Taylor Hall last year. I think they need to add more. But maybe Ray Sharrow, he got something up his sleeve in the offseason. I think also we got to understand this. With expansion coming up as well, teams might be hesitant because, hey, this guy might not protect it. So I traded him and I lost him. Geez, that's not a smart move. So I guess that's what we saw, but it will be interesting. Now, the Boston Bruins made a trade. They got forward Drew Stafford for a 2018 conditional 6th-round pick. Now, the Bruins add some depth scoring, so that can help them take the pressure off the big guys. The Bruins are currently in the playoff race, so we'll see this year. The Bruins last few years have been the race, but they fall at the last minute. So I guess the question is, will it repeat for a third time, or will the Bruins get back in the playoffs? And hey, I think the Bruins may surprise a lot of people in the playoffs if they make it. But again, only time will tell. So we'll see what happens. Another big trade happened between two Canadian teams. We saw the Calgary Flames acquire Curtis Lazar and Mike Costa defenseman, and they sent Jyrki Jokipaka and a 2nd-round pick for this year's draft. Now, I live in Calgary, so I've been getting mixed reaction. I've heard mixed reaction. I think this is a good move for the Flames because what they did, they get another young centerman to add. They're getting a lot of pieces, so eventually maybe you can get some of these pieces and get a trade for a big gun. And also, it gives them ability. Maybe they can put Sam Bennett on the wing or Lazar on the wing. But they got younger. They had assets. And let's not forget, Lazar is an RFA. They hold his rights at the end of the day. So if they put a qualifying offer, they can trade him and get something at the end of it. So maybe they can get a 4th round or 3rd round if things don't work out. But we will see. Now, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they got Brian Boyle the other day. They got Eric Furr, Steve Oleski, I do apologize for mispronunciation, and a 4th-round pick in Pittsburgh. Frankie Corrado went. Now, people are wondering, and the question's been asked, why didn't the Leafs claim Furr on waivers yesterday? Hey, they got a 4th-round pick in this, so I think that's why. But also, Eric Furr adds some depth. He helped the bottom 6, and also I give Mike Babcock a little bit more liability. He can use it. Maybe some situations he wouldn't use some of the younger kids and take the pressure off. So good move there. But the Penguins' big trade of the day was getting defenseman Mark Streit for the Lightning for a 4th-round pick in 2018. Now the Penguins, obviously the defense is beating up. Letang coming back from injury. They have Oli Mata hurt, and Trevor Daley is going to be gone for a while. So help the defense, got Ron Hazy. They saw what the Capitals getting Kevin Shattenkirk. The Red Wings, the Rangers getting Brendan Smith. And the Capitals getting Kevin Shattenkirk. So the Penguins are getting ready for battle. They know they got to be ready. They want to repeat for the first time in over 20 years. So, well, actually the first team to repeat in 20 years. So we'll see if that trade will help it. Well, those are all the big trades that have happened. Now, let's look at the winners and the losers today. Now, winners is hard to say, especially you look at some of the big trades. The Lightning, I think, are a winner because they were out of the playoff, got a lot of assets. And now with a win today over Carolina, they are only 3 points out, so maybe they got a plan. Stevie Y got a plan. Also a winner, Detroit Red Wings. They decided they knew they weren't going to make playoffs, getting some assets, getting some picks. You know how good this team is drafted in so many years past, so they had a plan as well. Now, if you're going to have some of the bigger trades, the Marty Handel trade, the Ben Bishop trade, the Kevin Shattenkirk trade, you can't say they're winner or losers till we get the outcome. I guess the expectation, Washington, they're all in. If they don't win the cup, Kevin Shattercraig with a bust. If the LA Kings miss the playoff, the Ben Bishop trade and the Drew McKinley trade was a bust. If the Minnesota Wild, I believe, don't make the Stanley Cup final, it's a bust. But these questions can only be answered in April. But if you want to say who's the loser today, it is the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Habs fans are going to be mad, but here's the fact. You got bigger, you may have got a little slower, but can you score? That's going to become of it. I know Carey Price is not the greatest goaltender right now in the NHL, so he can help you win maybe a couple of game series, but if you can't score, you're going to have problems, big problems. Well, that's all we have today, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back later in the weekend with a recap and seeing how things go in the league. It is an exciting time. I think after the trade deadline to the first month through to May is the most exciting time. You got the race to the playoff. You got the first round. It is just unbelievable. So much excitement. The electricity, the drama. What's going to happen? Only time will tell. Who's going to be the 8 from the West? Who's going to be the 8 from the East? And then we'll have the matchup game. Well, I hope you all have a great night. My name is Randy Dillon. Thanks for watching Randy Talks Hockey.